How much does that extra week of snaps now on top of what you had last week feel about chemistry? Where do you feel you are right now with chemistry with receivers and being able to find that timing that you need to be this precise on the game coming up?
Yeah, it's been great being able to get all these extra reps. I'd say the kind of like how I said with the O-line, we have a bunch of talented guys in that room, so they're really making it easy for me to be able to go out there and just try and play catch with them and give them the ball. They're going to do good things once the ball's in their hands, so it's really up to me to be able to go out there and make sure that's exactly what happens and get the playmakers the ball.
Did you see that arc from, let's say, last week to this week and how much improvement you've made with making that relationship between your receivers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, especially even with Coach Grimes' play calling, allowing us to really get in a groove, get some momentum going, being confident in each other. I know they're going to do the right things, and I know that they have confidence in me to do my thing to get them the ball. So I'd say the confidence between us has grown a lot in these last 10 days or whatever that I have been practicing with the ones, and I'm excited to prove what all the hard work that we have put in together on a big stage.
You're talking about playing 4 full quarters. Hasn't seemed like that's happened yet. What do you think has kind of been the biggest holdup for getting to that point?
There's a lot of things. I think honestly it kind of has taken a little bit of time for us to really get rolling. Up front in the passing game, running game, whatever it may be, we just have to figure it out. Personally, what we can do to come out hot, and if all 11 of us can do that, then we're gonna come out hot. We're gonna come out swinging. And we're gonna fight for 4 full quarters. And I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Danny, looking back at last weekend, you connected with Lance for a couple of explosives. Just how much of a luxury is the speed and playmaking ability that he brings to the tight end position?
Yeah, I mean he does a lot of things really well. His route running is very good. He has very good hands. His ability to make guys miss. He's a really good player, and I'm glad we have him. He really did do a lot of really good things on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does against a big-time opponent at their place. And, I can't stress enough how excited I am to just go out there and play with them and see what the playmakers can do.
When you watch what Florida State did to Alabama in Week 1, was there anything you took away that you can apply for yourself going into the matchup?
They ran the ball really well. They did a lot of good things in the running game, so just being able to try and emulate that. Their quarterback did a lot of good things with his feet too, so just trying to maybe extend plays with my legs or just checking the play, checking our runs to what we want to see and to what we want to run into. That's definitely something that I'm going to take great pride in this week.
Week 3 of your second college football season. Could you have imagined playing in such a high-profile game kind of at this stage of your career? Has that kind of set in yet for you?
I honestly haven't thought about it that way. I'm just taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and I've been very blessed to be able to play a lot so far in my career, and just being able to go out there and try and get better every single week and prove myself. And I know that all the guys on offense and even the whole team, really, we have a chip on our shoulder from we hear the noise. We try and block it out as much as we can, but we hear it. So just being able to go out there and prove ourselves right, that we work just as hard as anyone else, if not harder, and we're excited for our opportunity to show that.
Where do you hear the noise? Is it social media? Is it strangers at the restaurant? Is it friends and family? Where does that come in? Where does that break your bubble a little bit?
I deleted a lot of my social media. I did the same thing last year. I try and not hear or see as much as I can. But it's hard to completely get away. There's always someone saying something or something that'll pop up on my phone, and I see it, and I don't try to, but when I do see it, it gets me a little fired up. It gives me a little bit more motivation to come into work every single day and to give it my all.
So a little bit of that's a good thing. It can be a good thing.
I think so.
Is there any one of those slights that have kind of really stuck with you this week?
Not that I'm going to share, no.
Was it from any of us?
I don't think so.
And you talked about making checks at the line. That's a freedom that maybe not every college system or college quarterback gets. Just how impactful has it been the first 2 weeks here to be able to check out in and out of plays and kind of get to the look you want to?
Yeah, I think it's been very beneficial. At the end of the day, we should be able to run against any look we see. And we're the University of Wisconsin, so that's kind of who we are. But if we can get any advantage that we can, that's going to be great, and it's going to help our guys up front. So yeah, it is an advantage to us, but I think we have to take on the mentality also that we should be able to run the ball against anybody and whatever we see. So.
Kind of what do you remember from that game that you were watching on TV a year ago?
I know this was the game that Tyler went down. I remember that. I remember it was close early. I think they scored right before halftime, if you want to say that. And then, yeah, just being able to play 4 full quarters this year is going to be huge for us, starting off hot, being able to, get the game all the way to the fourth quarter, make it close, and then just, do our thing at the end of the game to do whatever we need to come out there with a W.
Coach Fickle was talking about on Monday just the adapting to the crowd noise there. It's just a different environment than you're going to see in many other places. What's your experience like with that? Like how either high school, now college, like how have you dealt with loud situations as a quarterback?
Well, last year, any loud situation, we were a clap cadence, so it really didn't have too much of an effect on our operation.
Gotcha.
But now we have a few things that we've been working on, the silent cadences, stuff like that. So just being able to go out there and execute that at a high level, and I know we will. We're putting a lot of stress on it, so I know that the guys are gonna do their best to make that as perfect as it can be on Saturday, and just looking forward to the environment. I love going on the road, going into a hostile environment and playing. I feel like that's a big stage, probably one of the biggest in college football. So just being able to go there and line up our 11 versus their 11, I'm excited to see what happens.
Danny, after the game, you mentioned how you're having meetings with the O-line and things like that ahead of the game. What's kind of like a weekly schedule for you? How much are you able to put into this with the different meetings that you have with different groups?
Yeah, I know. I'm thankful that I have some online classes, so my class schedule is pretty free. So just being able to, talk with the guys after practice, come here in the mornings before practice, extra film review with coaches, with players, everything that we've been able to do so far, last week, and I know that we're going to do again this week. It's definitely something that, plays to our advantage. The more that, we're comfortable with the game plan, that we're comfortable with knowing what we're seeing, knowing what we're going to get, I think that'll be an advantage to the Badgers come Saturday.